Hey, my question for you today is, have you ever been in a bad mood? Of course you have. Like my teenage clients would say, duh, it's so, it's so hard right now. Of course you've been in a bad mood. So a long time ago, I made up a technique called the 3-step emotional change technique, and today's Happy Habit episode features that technique. I also have had a chance to teach this technique to different age kids, and one time I was teaching it to a group of 4th graders, and so here they are. They've come with me today. And so here we go. We're going to start from the beginning. Have you ever been in a bad mood? And of course, when I asked that, the kids would say, yeah, of course. And then I would say, have you ever had somebody come up to you and say, cheer up? And they would go, oh, yes. And then they would say, they hate that. Of course they hate that. Everybody hates that because it invalidates your emotional state. And so then I would say, yeah, but have you ever been stuck in a mood, a bad mood that lasted too long? Maybe you were angry or you were sad and it lasted longer than you wanted it to. And they would say, yeah. And I would say, okay, I'm going to teach you this 3-step emotional change trick. I'm not going to say cheer up. It's a trick that you can use on yourself if you ever want to change your own mood. Okay? Okay. Ready? Step 1. Step 1 is feel the feeling. Honor the emotion. Let yourself feel what you're feeling, and there are a lot of different ways to do that. Sometimes kids would write down their feelings and rip up the paper. Sometimes they would say, if I'm sad, I should cry. If I'm angry, I should yell. And they would talk about ways that they could honor their feeling, and I would say, of course you should honor it because it comes from somewhere. It doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from somewhere. It's valid. Step 2. Step 2 is to think a new thought or to do something different. And I remember one time when I was talking to the 4th graders, this one girl said to me, oh, what I do is I take my cat upstairs, and then I've got this gerbil upstairs that is pregnant. And I remember feeling like, oh no, what are you going to do? But she said, all I do is I then sit with my cat on my head and watch my gerbil, and it makes me happy. Now, that was not something I had ever thought of doing. It was not something that anybody I've ever met has thought of doing. But sometimes what brings you up is unique to you. Of course, you could also exercise, and you could also, a boy said he could go in the bathroom and smile at himself in the mirror. And another kid said, I just like to go outside and get fresh air. And another one says, I like to talk to my mom. She makes me feel better. So there were all kinds of things people would do for step 2 to feel better. Step 3. Step 3 is spread the good mood. By that means that you should, and this is the important part, not tell somebody to cheer up, but instead do something that will naturally help them possibly be in a better mood. Like give them a compliment. Or maybe you would smile at them. Or maybe another thing you could do, and I would say this with their parents, you could say when like your dad asks you to do something, go, okay, Dad, and then do it. Or when your mom expresses an opinion, you might say, you're right, Mom, and try those things out. And I'm not sure they always worked, but I was pretty sure that they might work. And so that's step 3, spread the good mood. And then step 4, and of course, all the kids would say, well, no, there's only 3 steps. And I would say, well, emotions are so complicated that we need 4 steps, even in the 3-step emotional change trick. And the 4th step is teach someone else the 3 steps. It's based on the principle of learn, do, teach, and so you should get out there and try it out. And thank you for listening.